Now here's Evelyn's house. Her mother was born over at the Nash house. Her mother was Susan. Here's their well house. It's really cute. Here we are in Evelyn's house. Now here's Aunt Sue. She was one of the Nash children.
There we go.
Stallard Smith.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But tell me what you remember about the Nash house. Your mom was born over there?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you remember, like, as a child? Do you remember going over there? Or what do you remember about it, or just any memories?
Well, I can tell you some memories, and I can tell you what Mommy told me. Mommy told me a lot of stuff. And I'd say, well, now, I don't have time, Mama, to listen to this. She said, one of these days you're going to be sorry you didn't sit down and listen to it. Summer has all my papers right now, so if I had them, they'd jog my memory to things that happened. I remember going there and playing, and Grandma and her sister, Caroline Hall, would come up here and get me. And Grandma had made me a little bonnet, and I wore the bonnet when I'd go up and down the road with them. And down there where this other house is, right over on the right as you go back, there was some logs piled up out there in the front, and I'd play on those logs. And while Grandma and Aunt Carolee rested, and then we'd go on. He'd come home from Coburn. He'd been to Coburn, and he'd say, "Where's Evelyn?" And he said, I guess I know." And Mommy said, "Yes," said, "she's with my mother." And he said, "Well, if it wasn't Miss Nash," he said, "she wouldn't be making these trips like it was a long trip," I reckon.
Yeah, it's just across the road.
Yeah. And is that a dog barking? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we upset it when we came in.
Somewhere. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, like, what it used to look like, or?
Not a whole lot, but this, the way it looks now is more like I remember it. It was a beautiful place.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
And it had palings all around it, and Grandmother was a flower lover, and she had flowers in the yard. And I've got a picture of the house. Have you got one?
I've got some that Mom had, and some that Lenore had. I got some pictures of him.
I don't think you still have it
now. Oh, I don't know.
I wished I had mine, but I don't have mine either. Summer's got my pictures right now.
Yeah.
And on the front porch one day, I guess it was on a Sunday, 'cause they was all dressed up. Well, they wasn't dressed up. They had on their good clothes. And Aunt Rebecca was on one side, was on the far side of the door as you went in. And Uncle Trigg and two of the grandchildren was standing in the door. And Grandma and Mother was standing on the other side on the right-hand side of the door. And it was beautiful. They had they had some kind of pretty curtains up, and they had the door fastened, I reckon, to keep. Anyway, they was on the porch, and it was looking so much like it looks right now. Whenever, since they've got it fixed back up and got the upstairs porch on it and the downstairs porch also.
What do you remember? What did they do for a living, or what did like what was any of their trades or anything?
Well, they was farmers, and Grandpa owned 1,400 acres of land here on the mountain, and he gave each one of the children a house seat and land to raise them a crop, I guess.
Yeah.
And let's see. And some of the Larry lives on Aunt Julia's part of the land, and so most of them just gave it away, and it was worth a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
But they just give it away and wanted to go to another section of this territory here.